all our fun, where circuits make us cry. Welcome to electronics, where we have already spread our wings to soar high in the sky. Good morning, all of you. I, Harshveer Mand, Department Representative of Electronics and Communications Engineering Department, feel tremendous honor to welcome, under the guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor of GNU, Dr. Jaspal Singh Sandhu, Dr. Derek Engels, former faculty of ECE Department, Dr. Shalini Behel, Head of Electronics and Communications Engineering Department, Dr. Ravinder Kumar, Teacher in charge of Department, Alumni Chapter, and respected faculty and all the students to our today's Dialogue with Alumni Part 2. Today, we have with us esteemed luminaries, Dr. Derek, Akhilesh Beri, Sanyukta Sharma, and Jasdeep Singh. Dr. Derek, who needs no introduction, but still for those handful, for very few who may not know, I would love to introduce her. Dr. Derek did his post-graduation from Delhi University and PhD from the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar. He was a faculty member of the Department of Electronics Technology from 1983 to 2013. He retired as a professor in 2013 and currently he is the secretary and treasurer of Bering Union Christian College Association, an NGO running one degree college and three schools. He has 34 years of rich teaching and administrative experience. His area of interest is optical fiber components. Recently, he has a number of publications in area of charge transport in nanoelectronic devices. He has about 80 publications and has guided 8 PhDs. He has delivered expert lectures at various refresher and short-term courses of UGC. He has also chaired session at the conference. He's also listed as an expert in electronics with the National Board of Accreditation. Next, I would like to take pride in informing you all that we have with us Akhilesh Beri, who had been a student of our department, GNU Amritsar, in 2008-2012 batch. And he is today serving as an assistant consultant TCS in the United States. During his engineering days, he was quite active in extracurricular activities and was also the finance head. Thereafter, he became an application developer and worked for 2 years in Mumbai. Sir, while going through your rich profile, I felt absolutely overwhelmed to see the experience you have got. And at the same time, I must admit, I also felt troubled with the shortage of words and time to introduce you. Nevertheless, I feel I should give an attempt and hope to do justice to it. From production support executive in Mumbai to being assistant consultant in TCS, Mr. Beri has wide experience of work here in India as well as there in the States. An app developer, auditor, IT analyst, and whatnot. So all this journey must have had some ups and downs, and all of this must have added some tremendous value to your experience and skills. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have Sir to answer our doubts and satisfy our quest. Next, I would like to introduce the dynamic, vibrant, and flamboyant Sanyukta Sharma, batch of 2011-15 and currently MPA Fellow at Columbia University, New York, United States. After having done BTech from our university, she continued to pursue her higher studies and went on to do Master of Public Administration from Columbia University, New York. Beyond academics, her profile speaks volumes of how magnanimous citizen she had been, and she did volunteer for teaching English and Smile Foundation, Women and Child Welfare under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and much more. Currently under the Columbia Impact Investing Initiative, she is helping Brain Creek to enhance the productive design, incorporate human-centered design principles into the product. Ma'am, I must admit here as well that it is the time that bars me today to truly put light on what kind of a Samaritan you are and your dynamic work profiles. But I, at the same time, believe that even an iota of introduction of what you have done makes us super privileged to have you with us today. Last, but definitely not the least, we have with us Jasdeep Singh from batch of 2003 to 2007, who is currently making all of us proud by working as a lead developer at Key Data Associates in Brampton, Canada. From being a senior software engineer in Tech Mahindra to being a lead developer, he has acquired skills to do whatever is asked of him. As a software developer or technology lead in Infosys, Deep Singh has worked in companies of high stature, which makes him most suitable for enlightening all of us here today. We all are very proud of you. And rather, for that matter, I must say we are proud of all of you, not only for the milestones you have accomplished, but for the time you have given us. But before we dive directly into the interview, I must say that there is something that connects all of us. That is Guru Nanak's blessings and Guru Nanak's university. Nanak naam jahaz hai, chade so utre par. So let us begin by the university anthem.
ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਤਾਜ ਇਲਾਹੀ ਸੀਸ ਸਜਾਵਣ ਵਾਲਾ, ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਹੋਂਦ ਚ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਜਗੇ ਪੁਨੀਤ ਉਜਾਲਾ। ਸਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਪੁਰ ਨੂਰ ਰਹੇ, ਸਦਾ ਸਦਾ ਪੁਰ ਨੂਰ ਰਹੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਵਿਸ਼ਵ ਵਿਦਿਆਲਾ, गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला। सदा सदा पुर नूर रहे, पुर नूर रहे, पुर नूर रहे। गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला। अनहत नाद बजे, आहत जलन बुझे, अमृत शब्द वरे, तन मन तीन हरे। सदा सदा पुर नूर रहे, पुर नूर रहे, पुर नूर रहे। गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला। धरती अंबर पवन समुंदर सूरज चंद सितारे, एक दी तुन विच गावन वावन राग इलाही सारे। सत सुहान सदा मन चाओ, सत सुहान सदा मन चाओ। एह गुरु वाक उजाला, सदा रहे प्रकाश रूप। गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला, गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला। चिंतक सिरजक रसक विनोदी, सहज निमर विसमादी। निर्मल निरपौ सचदा खोजी, विगसे आद जुगादी। रोशन हो वंडे रुशनाई, रोशन हो वंडे रुशनाई। दिखया पावन वाला, गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला। गुरु नानक देव विश्व विद्याला।
So, with the blessings of Guru Nanak Dev, I feel the time is all good, all set to go. Before we begin, I would like Dr. Shalini Behel, the head of Department of Electronics and Engineering Department, to kindly Welcome all of you once again. Ma'am, your mic, please.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Today we are gathered again for the second interaction with the alumni of the department under the series Dialogue with Alumni. Our alumni have established themselves as successful individuals in almost every field, and we are very proud of them. Today we have with us our distinguished alumni, Mr. Jasdeep Singh, Mr. Akhilesh Berry, and Ms. Sanyukta Sharma. I'll not give more introduction because Harshvir has already introduced them. I still remember you as the student of the department. And for me, you are the students only. Please share your experience and enlighten the students with the goal in life and how you attained it. Give some career guidance also and inspire the students. So I welcome you, all of you. On behalf of Department of Electronics, I would like to express our deep gratitude to Professor Dr. Jaspal Sandhu, the worthy Vice Chancellor of the university, who is the guiding force. Under his visionary leadership, the university is achieving new heights. We are grateful to you, sir, for being a constant source of motivation and inspiration to all of us. We are also thankful to Professor Derek Angel, founder faculty member of the department, and sir needs no introduction for taking out time from his busy schedule and joining the event. Thank you, sir, for constant support and guidance, and welcome to the event, sir. It won't be correct on my part if I don't acknowledge Dr. Ravinder Kumar and Team ESF, who are helping from behind the scenes and working tirelessly to make this event a success. So I welcome you all to this event and not taking much time, let us start the session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warm welcome. So let's start with our today's interview. I guess first we will discuss a couple of non-serious, light-hearted questions to begin with, followed by some more career-associated or some technical ones.
Harsh, please. Uh, First of all, give 5 minutes to Derek sir to motivate us or about their experience.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So,
yes,
sir,
invite to Derek sir.
yes. So I would also love to invite Dr. Derek, who has such vast experiences and is one of the senior most professors, not only in our area, but across India, to share some words of wisdom with all of
He is
us.
the founder of the department also and the main guiding force behind
Yes,
all of
ma'am.
us. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So please, sir.
Thank you, Harsh, and thank you, ma'am Salani, for inviting me for this event. Well, I think that we are talking to many students as well as alumni of the department and all over the world. So I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Right. I am indeed very pleased that the department has initiated this dialogue with the alumni under the dynamic leadership of our worthy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Jaspal Singh Sandhu, and the alumni chapter of the department and the Electronic Student Forum. I welcome this opportunity to speak to you about our great university as well as the Department of Electronics Technology that we love so much. I'm sure that I am not speaking to you only, but we are also live streaming this event to other alumni and friends around the world. So greetings to all of you. I have been asked to say something about the experiences which I have had with the Department of Electronics Technology. There are quite a number of them, and in the past 38 years which I have been associated with the department, there's a lot to say, but since there is limitation of time, I'll just brief it into a paragraph. Well, I joined the department of 1st December 1983 along with Professor Dr. Suklin Bindra. We were the first two faculty to join and establish the Department of Applied Sciences and Technology. We later came to be known as the Department of Electronics Technology. We started this department in 2 rooms and an office situated in the University Science and Instrumentation Center. I served the department for the next 30 years and retired as professor on 31st of December 2013. I served 2 terms as head of the department. It has been a long journey with many ups and downs. I will not go into all these details because of limitation of time. Well, after retirement, I also served as the founder head of the university regional campus, Patutinga, Sultanpur Lodi, for 4 years. Currently, I am the secretary and treasurer of an NGO, Bering Union Christian College Association, Batala, running 3 schools and a degree college which are under my charge. About the university, I could say that under the leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Jaspal Singh Sandhu, our university is among the top 10 high-performing state universities, catering to nearly 20,000 students in about 35 academic departments, of which Department of Electronics is one of them. It is relatively a young department, started in the year 1983, but in this short time, it has created a niche for itself, not only in the country, but internationally also. And it is all because of you alumni, which are spread all over the world, as the head of the department, when Shalini has said. It had a humble beginning with 18 students, 2 faculty members, and Professor Dr. J.S. Sohol as the head of the department. Slowly with time, we grew and had an independent block to ourselves. The department has the best infrastructure and a very competent and dedicated faculty. Electronics and communication engineering was the most coveted course. And as Madam Shalini would vouch with me that it had the 100% placement in reputed companies in India as well as abroad. Our students are an outstanding group of young men and women, I would say. Despite the rigors of their academic coursework, they find time to participate and excel themselves in interdepartmental sports, cultural events, organizing tech fest and other technical competitions under the Electronic Student Forum. And today also, I heard the few lines which have been penned by Harsh about electronics that are quite good. The faculty of the department are among the best teachers and researchers. I am confident that many of you remember specific faculty member and the impact they have made in your life. Now, it is said a great teacher attains immortality in his students. I would say this applies to the institution also from where the students have graduated. I had been the head of the department twice as an administrator, used the resources to support the outstanding teaching and research of our faculty. It is through these activities that we provide excellence in education at our department. I will again quote, if life didn't change, it wouldn't be life, it would be a photograph. It applies to our department also. We must understand where we came from, the shoulders upon which we stand, so that we become what we need to be. Department of Electronics must never be a photograph. We need to stick to our vision and change as and when required for a better future. There are key moments in the life of the institution where decision made and the course charted have an impact for years to come. And I am confident that the present leadership of the department is aware of this fact. At present, we stand at a critical junction in the life of our department. Society demands that we educate this generation with skills and experiences they will need to navigate an ever-changing world, and all at an affordable cost. We cannot do everything we want to do on our own. It takes key partnership and like-minded individuals and organizations. As we look to the future, we know that we will experience ever greater competition because of changing demographics and economic trends. The young minds are pitted with drastic changes in their environment, with increasing demand of competition, fast changing values, pressure of challenging careers, and increasing love for materialistic life that has made difficult for the individual to maintain its prime value intact. Of course, under the circumstances, we look for support from you, alumni, to prepare our students for a future we never thought of. With your help, we will continue to innovate at the Department of Electronics with an assurance that our future alumni, like you, receive an outstanding education so that they can make a difference in this world. We still have a long way to go. The journey is not tomorrow, the journey begins now. Thank you very much for listening patiently to what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. I feel the words were coming straight from your heart, and the words must have touched upon all of us. So we are grateful for having for having familiarized us with such words with such a gravity. So we feel grateful that we have you today with us for sharing your experience with us, and I guess we will be asking you some questions as well, because some one or two students have asked us questions regarding optical communication also, and I feel nobody can be better than Dr. Derek, who can answer these questions as well. Earlier I was trying to avoid those questions, but I feel time is right to ask you, isn't it, sir?
I think there are quite a number of faculty members there in your department also, like Dr. Majendra. Optical communication is there,
Yes,
his
yes,
specialization.
yes, yes, yes.
Anyway, I can, well, I can also answer those if you want. Best
But
way I can.
since yes, yes, but since you are our guest today, so we'll trouble
Okay,
you a
yeah,
bit
yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
No, no, no problem, no problems.
Right. So first, as I said, we'll begin with some easy, some non-technical, some light-hearted questions. So my first question is to Akhilesh Beri sir, that how had been your university experience? And in this, can you specifically mention an incident of your student life that you can perhaps never forget?
Oh, really? First of all, don't call me sir. I don't like anyone calling me sir. But Harsh, you already made me reach Mount Everest. Let me come down first because your words were so. It was telling so much about me. It is not the way we are, right? We're still learning. We are still students, like Shalini ma'am said, right? We're still students. We are all are learning, right? Thanks. A very warm welcome to you all. Right. It is very great pleasure for me to join you guys. It is an excitement for me. Like I'm meeting all my professors and colleagues, right, and especially the students, right. The first of all, let me begin with my introduction. So the very first day when I joined this engineering colleges, right, I thought it is not a cup of tea. I might have to change my plans. I'll have to go somewhere else. I was actually struggling for first 6 7 months. I was thinking to change my background, but then I realized no, I can lead to this. But there was a lot of support which came from a lot of professors, right, who guided me well, and here am I, right. One of the very good dilemma we all have, right, when we join universities is like when you will join your jobs, when you'll join another organizations, you'll be in a dilemma that whatever you have learned in university is not going to give you the support in your organizations. So this is a very wrong concept. I'm briefly telling you because whatever you learn in the university, maybe the lessons you learn, the hardships you'll face, this is what will make you build your pillars of your life, and that will ultimately give you a lead to your destination, right? And your purpose in life. It could be different for everyone. It is like my experience. I'm being in IT organization from last 9 years now, right? I would have some different concepts. I would have some different perception of life, but there could be other people who have different knowledge in different area, rise. So university has given me that potential to learn. So my professors guided me very well. They were always teaching us the lessons of life, and that is how we realized that what potential we have and where we have to go, right? So I'm currently located at Chicago, United States, working as assistant consultant for Tata Consultancy Services. Within TCS also, like it's just 9 years of my experience, but within 9 years, I've been into 10 different roles in the organizations. There were chances I've been a part of recruitment drives. I came to university in 2017 for placements. And then I also got a chance to interview Nanak Dev University in 2018, but it was all virtual drives. I've been like got a chance to interview and a technical. I'm basically a technical guy, so I'm a technical interviewer at TCS. So I got a chance to interview at United States. Also, I joined. I interviewed people from Chicago University and then the Washington University as well. So it's all because of my leaders, right? Because we've been getting a guidance from a lot of mentors. Every time when you walk in your life, right? You'll get a lot of advisors. Some advisors could be trusted advisors, and they are the one who will give you a guidance how to grow in life, and that's what you have to learn. And this is what you learn from university itself. Your question was like about my story in university. So you already said I was a like financial head of ESF. I've been organizing a lot of various events, but I'll tell you frankly, I've not lived that. After like going out of university, I joined TCS, but then I became a financial head for TCS also. Financial head for TCS Maitri. I joined some NGOs, and then I was part of Ecology Club. I was also organizing events at Mumbai. Little change. I was not there in Mumbai for 2 years. I was there in Mumbai for 4 years. Uh, so my journey was good. Like I never left. I never thought of leaving TCS because TCS is giving me a lot of good opportunities. Um, I'm in US from last 3 years now. Probably I don't know what's the future, but it's always been like there have been struggles, there have been challenges, but you also will get some type of a support person in your life who will help you to grow. So maybe over to you, Harsh. You can ask this question to another people now.
Yes, so that is what I was about to do. Now I would like to forward the same question to Sayukta Sharma.
Thank you for your question. And so, honestly, when I entered university, my elder brother was already part of the department. He was in third year when I joined. So, I had a lot of context and understanding of. I had visited the campus before, and I think that made a lot of difference. I was familiar with the environment, and I had heard like some professor's name from my brother. So I remember like when I actually encountered uh, those like faces and the similar. I mean, the same classroom. It wasn't as new for me, I think, as much as it was for fellow classmates. But I think my most fond memory of the university, to be honest, is just the ability to explore so much. And I don't know if that was the scenario or that was the case with students who were pursuing engineering in other colleges, because I mean, you do hear people saying that there was a lot of bandwidth to explore opportunities related to engineering in terms of internship and the companies that visit the campus. But I think I just had a lot of time, or maybe I was just interested in other things apart from engineering, that it just felt like I can explore stuff. I can have conversations. I can indulge in activities that can potentially be future career prospects. So I'm really grateful, and
And that is the most valuable thing, I think, when I look back of my time back in the university. Oh, I think you are on mute.
Right. So, as you said that you were exploring something beyond engineering as well, and you were quite familiar with a lot many names, having joined the university for the first time as well. And a similar thing happened to me as well. My sister was already there in the university, and then I joined, and I already knew which professors are going to teach, who is the head, and what all. Right. So, what all things I must be conscious and careful about. So we, I guess, share a little of similar story. And now I would like to forward the same question to our next speaker, that is Jasdeep Singh.
Hey, thank you. Thank you all for having me here. I don't know what I can speak in front of all the respected uh, people here, like my teachers and all the counterparts that are with me. But I can thanks Harshveer about the over elaborated introduction that he has given. I was thinking just like he will mention that he is just lead developer in that thing, but yeah, like I should like make a note in my resume, the same wording. You should like share it to me, right? Thanks. I mean, I am not even a prick in front of all the great people, Dr. Shalini ma'am, Dr. Ravinder sir, Dr. Derek Angels, and Sir Ravinder sir, who actually I'm always connected with since I passed out. So my introduction is nothing in front of all my teachers. So I'm still that humble student, and as Derek Angels sir said, that we are standing on your shoulders, sir. Um, I mean, I can't even think about what I'm here today sitting doing certain things, but in my mind, it's always there that if you ask me that what are the certain moments that I always remember, is that when I joined the university, right? Uh, I even thought like, have I even worth it, right? Because it was, I think it's the first time when it was filled through CET. It was not filled through some other exam. So CET was a competitive exam, and I got around first 100 ranks. And I mean, I just like made things, and it just came up. And I, in my mind, was never clear, have I even worth it, right? So I think I was just like dangling around. I was so confused all the time. But when teachers make you feel that you are important, Dr. Sani sir, he told me, he actually gave me most disciplined person in my farewell, and I know it is his decision because he always observed us. And Shalini ma'am, she even came to me, like there was event that was going on, I forgot the event, but she said, can you sing also? I saw you were singing on the stage. Then I realized, no, it's not, I don't worth it, I worth something though, right? Dr. Derek Angel sir, we were actually performing some extracurricular activity. He said, oh, why your guys are standing around? So whenever sir used to come, we used to like stand like an army person, because like he was so much disciplined, and we were like always a bit afraid of sir. And he said, oh, you are doing, then why you are not doing it, just do it. I mean, he was in his own way, he was so cooperative. So, and Ravinder sir always, like, he's so reachable to us, to all the students, that we love to have Ravinder sir to accompany us in all the tours. And we went to a trip in near to the last semester. It's a memorable one. So my introduction is nothing, I should say. um, and this is just like an airport, like when you come into the airport, and then when the airplane takes a flight, right? It's always like on a confusing path. So for us it was a confusing path. We were like dangling around all those pathways, and finally we found a lane. And then lane, we just like took off, right? And then we are just like flying, or whatever you can say. But uh, so we were so confused, and that direction was given by the teachers. So we were piloted by these teachers. I'm so thankful. That's all I can say here. Thanks.
So it's so lovely to hear all of you, especially the remarks made by Jasdeep Singh, because even we feel it quite similar these days. The observations shown by our former head, Dr. Sani, and the kind of coordination. Dr. Behel always tells me कि अगर कुछ भी है घबराना नहीं, सीधा आके मुझे बताना, मैं कुछ एक्शन नहीं लूंगी, ठीक है. So the kind of cooperation, Dr. Ravinder's coordination with all of us, and Dr. Derek making you savdhan and Vishram whenever he used to approach you. But Dr. Derek, the kind of introduction all of them are giving and the experience they're sharing, I believe that it would have been wonderful if you are with us even today in the same department. We all students are missing you. Why you are not there in the 2021?
Why not? I will be very happy to be there. Why not? Anytime they call me, I am there always. I am quite active. I am not gone that old, Even at 68, I am quite active. I will be very happy coming to the department and participating in all these events. Sure.
Sure, sir. It's our misfortune that we have got to know you when it's the lockdown, but we can meet you anyway online. But we're looking forward to meeting you offline as well, hopefully when the lockdown ends and the universities resume. So my next question is,
Harsh, can I say a few words?
yes, sure, sir. Most welcome.
Yeah, I was frankly speaking, I have heard you all guys, Akhilesh, Jasdeep, Sayukta, saying good words about the department and the teachers as their mentors. And of course, Derek sir, you were my teacher, you were my mentor, and I know that the way you have nurtured the Department of Electronics Technology in 30 years of your active participation in each and every small little thing about the department, your soul resides, we can definitely feel around, I know that when I used to be your student, uh, I was really afraid of, the being, you are so disciplined, and maybe whatever the little disciplined attitude I try to bring in my students, maybe it is all because of uh, you mentoring us, when we used to be our students. I am also the alumnus of this prestigious department. And I'm so happy to say that Derek sir is my teacher, my professor, and I learnt most of the things from him. And probably it was all his teachings that I could really impart to my students in almost 24 years of my spending in the particular department. Thank you, sir. And guys, lovely to hear you all. And I'm still continuing. We'll have a later interaction again. Harsh, you can continue now. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I don't think I'm that strict. I know. Tell me that I checked was. I don't think I was that strict. I was always listening to the students and always will be happy to support them in any way. So anyway, thank you
Sir,
very
I,
much.
I took as a strict, but I know you were disciplined only. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
No, sir. So you were never strict. Like, you were so reachable, but for some reason, we students were always like attention in front of you.
Yeah, we always have a fear, Derek sir, that if we get a chance to meet you, we always have a fear that, oh, we are going to Derek sir. I think let's find a chance to talk to some other professor first before going to Derek sir, right? But yeah, it was nice always. Like
I
you was very
I
approachable
don't
to me at least.
I don't know
Sir, it's not fear,
how
it's
I managed
respect.
to get that to you all, but
Sir, it's respect for you, not fear, sir.
okay,
Yeah, sir,
okay.
it's respect.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it is
Thank you
We
very
respect for
much.
you,
respect
sir.
you so much, sir, that
Thank
we
you
are
very much.
not able to explain, sir. It's respect for you.
Sir, as they say, na, that a person should be like a coconut. He must have a coconut personality, hard from the
Yes.
outside, but very soft and very close friend from the inside. So I
So,
believe you have, we adore that kind of personality you had, right? So I guess today
You.
we have encroached the inside of your personality where we find you as a very close and congenial, dynamic, and young as well. You just mentioned your age, and you don't look that old. You look young. And rather, I added, if we have time, I was about to ask you the secrets of being so young and dynamic still. But I guess
Well,
we'll
I'm
move forward.
associated with young people. You may remain young.
Yes, 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 sure, sir. So my next question is, now let's move towards the serious questions as well. So my next question, starting with this deep saying, what had been your dreams since day one? By that I mean from childhood. Are you in the same profession you dreamt of? And if not, how many times did it have to change and how did you evolve? Like, I wanted to become a pilot, then I wanted to become a doctor, finally I'm into engineering. So that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a tough question to answer. So I can just tell you that I was good in mathematics earlier. Like I was good in logic in solving problems. So essentially, I think I just like got the same thing that I was always thinking of. So today I just do the algorithms. Um, and I was never an administrator. Like I couldn't even think myself of leading some crowd of, some people. And I do have a kind of emotional variant, like emotional structure, I should say, of that I can lead or go into the administrative things. So I was mostly, I think I was always thinking about the problem sets and how to resolve it. I got opportunity to go into management streams through my career, but I kind of didn't, opt for it. I just pursue this path, and thanks to Shalini ma'am, we still use all first in first out and last in first out pointers, all things that just the same way as you told us, all data structures. So we are just doing the same thing. So essentially, yeah. So I should say just transferring from mathematics to solving algorithms. It has been a journey, but essentially I'm on the same path that I was thinking. So yeah.
And now I would like to forward this question to Sayukta Sharma, because your profile tells me that you were into engineering, that you were into a lot of social work, and then I guess you're doing a mix of both. So what's your say or what's your take on this?
Yeah, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember what I always wanted to be, but what I do remember is I never wanted to be an engineer. So once I landed up in an engineering school, I had no idea like how to process it, because my gut feeling was I'm not going to stick to it. I'll be very honest with you. So this is probably why I started very early on to figure out what else I could do. But I think what the university did to me and what the course helped me with is applying a framework to even evaluate options, because I think what we don't generally recognize is, even if you are not very sure about what you want to do, which I wasn't. I mean, of course I would have thought in my childhood to be, say, a teacher or maybe a doctor at some point of time. They were not like serious options I was considering. So even when I did like enroll in the university, I wasn't very clear about the path I wanted to pursue. And I think in a course like engineering, which is so analytical and like logical, and there are so many frameworks you sort of dabble with, I think I realized I like problem solving. And once I identified that, that is how I started connecting the dots, that I like interacting with people. I like problem solving. So is there a way where I can mix these two components, and is there a career path that allows me to like do the same? And that is how I got to know about public policy, which is like another conversation. But yes, I mean, I did figure out, I think, during my time in the university, that this is what I want to do. And that is like something I remember fondly, that if it was not the university, and if it was not for the teachers. And I remember visiting Sani sir once in his office when I was applying, I think, for my internship after the fourth semester. And I did a very odd thing. I applied for a social work kind of internship in Russia, which I think no one did. And I remember, like, I went to sir and I spoke to him that this is what I'm applying for. And it was not a mandatory internship thing that we had to do. And I was just very not confused, but I was a bit scared if this is even an option I should consider, or is this odd because I'm in an engineering school and I'm taking a chance to like, see what is out there. And he was so encouraging. And I remember he did say that, if this is something that interests you, you can sure like go ahead, see if you like it or not. So yeah, I think I discovered my passion while I was there in the campus.
Right. So now I believe that we can have the answer from Akhilesh Beri.
Okay, that's good. Uh, okay. So when I was in like doing my engineering, I got like joined TCS. That was the first and the last company I got from the university. But I always want to become a leader in any organization, right? I don't know if I am right now because it's just like the beginning of my journey. It is whatever my goal is I'm just 10% of that today also. I'm still learning. I'm still learning from a lot of my seniors, a lot of my mentors. Why TCS has like after like moving to TCS, right? TCS has given me a lot of opportunities, and the best part, uh, very initial start when I joined TCS, right? I was thinking, I don't want to become a developer. I am an ECE student. I don't know how to write a code. I was being asked to write a code. I was being asked to write the Java Spring code. I was being asked to learn a lot of languages, and I was actually feeling tough learning everything, right? But then probably I got a mentor who taught me very good lesson. He told me that he is still there in TCS. He's been like now a chief. He's 25 years experience in TCS. So he gave me a very good lesson. He told me life is different for everyone. You all would have a different blueprint, right? It is not same for everyone. You all have to think of what your blueprints are. You have resources and materials available. You have to build your pillars. You're not think of like this way. You are architects for your own house. You have resources, you have materials, but you have money also, or you have a financial help from your parents. But now your mind is the one thing that will help you to grow your pillars, right? And your house is always built on pillars. The how strong the pillar you will build is what your house will be stronger, right? So your journey, even if you move out of university, right, life will have a lot of tough lessons. It will have a lot of challenges coming all the way. It won't be easy anytime, right? If you see that uh, you would have learned easy, for example, got a degree, right? You got a degree with maybe 95%. But then if you jump out of organization, you join one organization, right? The organization will have a very different culture, will have very different expectations out of you, and then you'll again struggle. But everywhere wherever there is a pillars, right? That's what he told me. So when you are trying to create a pillars, you may need some advisors. So uh, generally your advisors will not be your colleagues. It will be your mentors, maybe managers in your organization, and your teachers and professors whom with whom you have already given 4 years in the college, right? 4 or 5 years in the college. So they are the right persons who will guide you, who will advise you, and take your guidance from them. They are the one who will help you creating a perfect pillar of your house, right? uh, that's the only guidance I've taken up, and that is how I'm like prospering in TCS. I've been into multiple roles, right? But this is all learnings from your teachers, professors, and most important, your parents is the very real gift given by to us by God, right? So they are the one who will help you learn the lessons, groom you, make you build stronger, and uh, reach your potential of your goal. So very importantly, you'll all have to find your potential first. If you actually find your potential, you'll be like clearing all your goals. That's what all my guidance to you all. Very best of luck.
So thank you. But as you have, yeah. So as you have said, a very wonderful. I hope your mic is off.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, as you have mentioned, a very wonderful thing that all the students, everybody has a different trajectory in his life, the different blueprints. And the best part of forwarding one question to all three of you is that we get three different unique answers, which are really unique from each other. And somewhere from those answers, all of us, I mean the students, can somewhere predict or somewhere draw the trajectories they are going to follow. Now, I, from your answer, find you the most fit person to answer this question, which we have on the list today. These questions we have collected from the students itself. There are some students who lean towards the campus placements, and then there are students who lean towards the off campus placements. And then there are students who don't want to go for any placements. They either want to go for other options like higher education or maybe civil services or some other options, right? So, what according to you are like one or two pros and cons for each of the options?
Is it question to like some
Yes,
specific
yes,
guy?
yes. The question is to Akhilesh only. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll like kind of circulate it.
Oh, okay. You asked that question to me. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
that's what I'm saying. So, very correctly said. You will go for on-campus placements. You'll go for off-campus placements. There would be someone going for colleges and everything. That's how you creating your blueprints, right? Because I don't know. Maybe my experiences are different from what Sanyukta have or what Jasdeep Singh have, right? But that's how life is. All have different trajectories. You all have different plans to go. One thing, don't compare yourself to others. That's a very key chapter you'll learn in any organization you'll go, right? Don't compare yourself with others. You'll have to be honest with yourself, right? What you want to be in the long term. Think of this way, right? So when we also interview, we ask in that way, that think of in this way, that you are doing this now, what you really want to be after 5 years. If you are able to think of your 5 years future plan, then probably you'll have your answer yourself. You don't have to go somewhere else and find out your answers. If you're able to find the answer that what is my 5 years plan, what is my 10 years plan, right? That is what will give you an answer that whether you want to be a part of campus placements or off campus placements, or you want to go for career or studies. Very well said. Like I'm been like working in on TCS from 6-9 years, but it doesn't mean that I'm not studying parallelly, right? I have done a lot of certifications. I've been like certified from IBM. I've been certified from Oracle, right? So this is all adds as to your presentation to your performer, maybe your resume, right? Uh, it is just like, for example, my sister is like a doctorate today, right? She wants to learn BSc, and she did BSc from university, and then MSc, went for PhD from IIT, and then postdoctorate from University of sorry, from UK, I guess. UK, she did the postdoctorate, right? So everyone has a different flavor to go with. It is all dependent on you, that what exactly is tempting to you. For example, you go to a restaurant, right? Someone will like to have paneer tikka, someone will like to have chicken tikka, right? But that means there is always a tempting flavor in your mind that you will go with this. That is how you have to choose your career. Think of this way, that go ahead, create a plan. Don't follow me, don't follow Jasdeep, don't follow Sanyukta. Just follow yourself. Be honest with yourself that what exactly you want to be, right? If you want to be in an army, if you want to be go into an army, defense forces, think of that way. That what is your goal, and how to achieve is somewhere where your leaders will help you in. That will help you to create a bondage, like you want to be a leader, how do you achieve that is somewhere where we all can help you in, but the goal is somewhere you have to create it.
Yeah, Akhilesh, I would like to add whatever you just said, that our life is in fact our story. So we
Yeah.
cannot follow somebody else's script, to be implemented on top of our life. That's great. Everybody has got its own trajectories. Everybody has got its own ambitions. And then we have to find out small paths, eventually that leads us to a bigger destination. So hence, keep exploring, that young guys who are listening to us, who are still looking for decent good jobs, the current students of the department, please take the footprints from your seniors, those who are on the platform today, but then don't try to follow them. It's your life, and then you do have different plans. and try to execute those small little plans to get a bigger, domain in your life eventually. Thank you. Thanks, Rakesh.
Yeah, I also want to add, Ravinder, so that is very good to know. I'll tell you frankly, because I came to university for placements and then I went to Chicago for placements. I felt my our university students are very good. I have a very good quality students than what I saw in Chicago. So, what exactly is the difference is like we all are getting good knowledge, but uh, think of this way, right? Um, Today we say that Python is growing, our programming is growing. There is a lot of there's a bombarded of lot of technologies which has come up. Like you have go with artificial learning, you go for machine learning, go for artificial intelligence. You got a lot of good options to grow. But what is happening is people are actually just running away. They are not actually thinking of how to create a base. So even if you join our organizations, I can say only with the perspective of IT, IT field, you have to create your base first, right? Technologies will keep on changing. Like one said, CC++ was the very first language we were building, right? Then we came to Java, then came to Python, then came to a lot of different languages. But you'll have to create your base first, right? So, for example, if you're an architect of your house, you create a blueprint, you create a structure of your house, and then you are adding some material to it, right? That is what you have to do. You'll have to create a base first. You'll have to understand, you have to learn a lot of things from your university, create an think of your goals, and then try to accomplish them. That's all. That's only what I'm doing is, and maybe I'm able to do it.
Yeah, so thank you, sir. Thank you, Akhilesh. What conclusion could we draw was that the basic, most fundamental mantra is don't compare yourself with others. Don't just stick that usne aisa kiya, so I will also have to do the same thing to reach the same destination. But at the same time, when we listen to you, I am very sure that most of us will be able to relate. हम सब स्टूडेंट्स ने कोई एक एक बंदा आप में से पढ़ लिया होगा कि आई कैन रिलेट मोर विद हिम, आई कैन रिलेट मोर विद संयुक्ता और विद जसदीप और विद अखिलेश, and that relation gives us a confidence कि हाँ जिस track में हम जा रहे हैं, that track is also quite relevant, not absolutely relevant. Now moving forward, my next question to you is to Sanyukta. My question is that, like, we have our mainstream work, and then it is quite important to have some interests, some hobbies on which we'd love to invest our leisure time. What are your hobbies, and how do you think do these help you out?
My hobby is reading about politics. I follow news. I like reading about history. I like reading about Indian politics, and I like to swim. Uh, that's the sport like I pursue. And apart from that, I mean, very general, usual things. Yeah, we all like to like just see what's over Instagram and what are the new trends and general, usual stuff. But for the serious part, I think I like reading about history and politics and a lot of policy things. I mean, but somehow that intersects with my work, so I'm not sure if that qualifies as like purely as a hobby. But I do genuinely like enjoy reading it.
So definitely, I could see that answer coming. So it's good that you read about politics, but then I at the same time feel that this is a subject where we can take hours and hours and hours. Okay, so my next question is to Jasdeep Singh. Since you all are rather settled in abroad, what do you think? What habits must the student develop today to fit in the culture abroad? Tips that could be handy for the students planning to go abroad.
So, are you asking for those specific people who are really willing to go out of the country and settle, or just work and come back?
The No, there are many people who are actually willing to settle abroad, and that makes this question
Settle.
quite relevant because today in the world of globalization, I feel it doesn't really matter. You can still be a nationalist by being outside. So I think these boundaries do not matter anymore. What are your tips for
Yeah.
the students?
Uh, so settling abroad and just like coming working here and just go back, so requires two different kind of mindsets, right? So at one point, like you are asking about what are the mindset, like, specifically. I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
So
So
basically, the question is, what habits or what things specifically would those students start doing so that they're able to fit in the culture abroad? Because there are some students, like when my sister went to Canada,
Mhm.
she was like, कि, अरे यहाँ पर तो बहुत भाग दौड़ है वहाँ पर तो I used to wake up quite late
I see.
and
Yeah.
वहाँ खाना बनाना सीख लिया होता तो यहाँ पर
Mhm.
handy आ जाता. ठीक है, यहाँ पर I
Mhm.
have to rely on somebody to cook food. So, some small, I guess these small things matter to a great extent in life. When you have good food, for example, then you have a good day as well. So some things like that, some handy tips for them.
Actually, I think we belong to Guru Nanak Dev University, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji has actually told us what to do, right? Kirt karo, vand chako, nam japo. So we have that, right? So it's only specific for us. In India, we have that kind of spiritual um, spiritual platform. Then on that, everything is based on. So it's all about emotions, right? But if your emotions are stable, you can achieve anything. Now, if you for the students, it's just same thing. I should they should prosper the very idea of the university on which they are actually studying. So if they are doing their kirat properly, they can settle anywhere. They can settle in the Mars, right? There's no problem. So whatever you have to do, um, just follow the idea, I should say. And like too specific, okay, so you are asking me more detailing about this, what I want to say. In practical world, um if you watch like I'm fond of movies, so I can just tell you I have watched movie Kung Fu Panda, right? So there is a big fat panda. Everybody thinks he's not worth, right? He is not worth. And then his mentors, his guru, he put faith in him. And after that, what was the output? He was funny, though he was focused, right? He was funny. Even you haven't watched that, just watch that movie. He was totally funny, but he was focused. He was a dragon warrior, but he still wanted to learn. He was on the top shelf, but his foot, he was still able to feel his foot. He was connected to the ground. So I think all those things should be genuine in all of us. He believed in teamwork. He was able to solve all problems in that alone, but still he was always wanting to have his friends around him, his family around him. So those are like basic things. I think I always connected to that movie. I keep on seeing that movie to see those little things that have been so very well planned in that movie. Here when I came here, so one of my HRs asked me, so you are only the second person who was able to crack our interview from India. How come? Like how was you able to speak to us and convince us that, like, it was like kind of a ask from me, and I said I just watched Kung Fu Panda. And nobody like could able to figure out, they were having a question marks on their face. But that's the movie I always ask you guys to see and feel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, so definitely we'll go for Kung Fu Panda. Let's explore that movie as well. So basically, the verdict from you is being focused and being funny at the same time. One must not compromise with either of the two. So that's great. My next question.
Harsh, just for I'm abstracting you for a while only. Harsh, what we see normally when we have bigger storms, the trees which are actually connected to their roots, they survive all kinds of storms. So similar to that, we do have storms in our life, and some falter there. Some succumb to those kind of storms, but eventually those who are actually connected with their roots, and roots is basically your parents moral values that they have in fact enthused in you guys when you are young. Eventually you move to the schools, the teachers, you move to high schools, universities, colleges, and your mentors, and then eventually you get into that position where you think that you are still connected with your roots, and now you can just open to any kind of storms. Let them come, you will survive, and then you will able to handle those kind of storms much better than most of the people who are actually not connected to the roots. Jasdeep, thanks, yaar. Good words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, it's great to even listen to your
Right.
voice.
So that is what we say in Punjabi, Niha apniya mazboot rakho. The fundamentals are our sanskar that we have got, the ethos of the family cultures we have got, never forgetting that. And I guess, sir, we, the university students, are adapting ourselves in a way कि वो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में, आंखों के सामने मंजिल है, गिरते संभलते रहे, क्या दम है इन हवाओं में, हमारे चिराग तो तेज आंधियों में भी जलते रहे. So mentors like you are preparing us for any kind of aandhi or storm that we face in future. The time is short, and I guess we have a couple of minutes more, in which I guess I can ask one question to Sangyukta Sharma and the next one to Akhilesh Beri, and I would expect a quick answer on that. My question to Sangyukta Sharma is that how do you weigh academics against other stuff like co-curricular activities, celebrating friendship, goals, canteen fun, festivals?
I think academics is very, very important. And I realized it much later, and rightly so, because I had a very average GPA. So, because, and I think the fact is, I can say it with confidence that even though for someone like me who decided not to pursue like my master's in a stream related to engineering, it was important for me also to justify and explain my GPA. So you can imagine, like, if you are planning to, stick to the engineering side as well, grades do matter. And of course, the overall profile matters. Having said that, I don't want to make it sound like only focus on your GPA and do not explore other activities that you can while you are still in school. But academics is very, very important. And I think this also sort of reflects that if you genuinely try to absorb the material, you will figure out what interests you the most, which I think is like a byproduct of studying properly, if you study well. So yeah, I think it's extremely important. And yeah, and even
So
though
I
I was
get.
confident that I wanted to switch, I think I took my GPA a bit lightly, and in hindsight I feel that was not like a good thing to do. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite an apt answer, because somewhere it was coming since the very beginning of our engineering that CT पे तो 6 भी चलेगी, 5 भी चलेगी, 7 भी चलेगी, 9 वाला रह गया, 5 वाला हो गया. तो right. So somewhere in
Yeah,
that
कुछ नहीं चलता
misunderstanding,
है.
हाँ,
And कुछ नहीं चलता है. They ask for, you have to like justify your scores.
justify. And why justify if you can score better in the very beginning? Like there are some students who wanted to join the armed forces, and somebody told them कि armed forces में तो pass ही होना होता है. But then I told them कि had you scored better, you would have directly gone for the interview rather than sitting and giving the written exam. So there are some merits that are attached. But having said that, your overall profile does matter. It's not that you are all studious and you have not performed, you're not enjoyed the friendship goals or other things in your life. Last question for Akhilesh, and then I guess we can head towards winding up to this lovely talk. I don't feel like doing so, but then people like me who have a diary of speaking, I must admit. So we don't feel like winding it up, but unfortunately, the time is short and we have to do so. My next question is to Akhilesh Beri. Other than in the core technical jobs like the placement or the TCS, what are the other scopes abroad or in India? It could be teaching, it could be civil services. If somebody wants to pursue teaching, because this was the question I received from 3 or 4 students, if somebody wants to pursue teaching abroad, what is the scope, and do you have any idea what he or she should kind of do?
Uh, a very nice question, because this is what I am exploring for someone right now. Actually, you have a lot of opportunities in US. US is bombarded with a lot of opportunities. I don't think so, because US is lacking somewhere with good associate talent. It is missing some talents, so it is looking for talents in India, and that is the reason, the main reason that you see that a lot of companies are investing in India right now, right? And that is the reason you have got so many placements happening. Coming to your question, like teaching, like if you want to go for teaching, right? So this is the way, right? Like what Sanjukta is doing. She'll have to think of doing some post graduation. So when you come to US, right? Okay, for example, me also, like I did my BTech in electronics and communication. So when I was been like filling up forms for my H1B, right, which is the work visa for United States, uh, there are some challenges when we work for it, because the H1Bs and the work, since I'm in IT, right, they think of that we have computer science education in our area, right? BTech in India, which is like 4 years, generally is subtracted by -1 when you join US. So any degree, any even if you do post graduation, it could be possible that it is valid or it is not valid when you join US or probably even Canada. You go for it, right? You go for World Education Services, which will evaluate your certification credentials and will tell you whether it is valid or invalid, right? So for teaching in US, you'll have to first learn and understand what the culture over here is, right? Since we're working in an organization, we can still continue because we like interacting with businesses. We are we are selling them like what products we have. We are just trying to develop their architectures. But at the same time, when you think of teaching, right, you have to teach students of US, not students of India, right? There could be some NRIs, but the major chunk would be US candidates. And that is the reason the US or even Canada, or even if you go to Australia, they always want you have to have a study base from their own country. And that's what, if you want to be a study, the base, the structure is this way. You'll have to do BSc or BTech from from your country, and then probably apply for MS or MTech or MBA in Mumbai, in the outside world, and then pursue your studies. And it is there, but it is very costly in US. I probably came to know that the teaching career is very like you need a lot of money for it. It is easy to do MS over here. It is little difficult to do MBA because it is financially it needs a lot of money. But then teaching is another third thing where it is not easy. But as far I know from my family background, India has a lot of given opportunities for you all if you actually wants to go for teaching. Um, our central government is giving up some sort of examinations, which if you clear those examinations, you'll be qualified to appear for uh, to go to UK or some other countries and even pursue your higher studies. For example, my sister, right, she got to she joined UK, but it was free of cost for her. She did a postdoctorate from there, but because her complete scholarship was earned by or was governed by central government of India. So there are possibilities. That it is just like you have to search for the right people who can guide you. That what all ways are there to come outside and then prosper in life.
Thank you. And the last thing that I would like to ask Dr. Derek. Dr. Derek, what do you find is the scope in optical fibers? Where I received this question and I was trying to avoid, but I'm fascinated to have you here, and I feel we should not avoid this question. If you can let us know the scope in optical fibers for the students, and you can motivate them.
Your question is what is the scope of optical fiber? I think that, well, optical fibers are there, but then the scope for optical fiber communication, there's a tremendous. Today we are talking of fiber to the home. We are talking of computer based on optical communication. We are having optical components also. The memories also are there. So many devices have been designed for optical communication right up to the computational level. So there's a tremendous scope in optical fiber communication, and we are going in a big way in India also. Even in Punjab, the entire border is optical fiber communication is there on the border, and we are having communication right up to the home, optical fiber to the home also. So there's a
So
tremendous communication. Yeah.
yeah, Derek's very important. Like Reliance Jio is how
Yes.
it is able to develop like the complete internet all over the very
Yeah.
small parts of India. It is because of this optical fibers, right?
Yes. Yeah. So there's a tremendous
Harsh,
scope.
all the real-time applications that we are finding today, and all the that IoT-based applications that we are finding today, these are all capable, have become rather capable because of the innovations that have happened in optical communication. We had certain problems with the radio waves propagation, microwave propagation in the last decades, and all these problems have been resolved. You today we talk about somewhere around 500 mbps of kind of data transfer. That is capable only because of the innovations that have happened into the there's optical components as well as the communication switching technologies, right? So, and this scope is going to be there. Computing is, I just try to say a few things. When I initially joined the department, after spending 2 years in marketing of computers, Derek sir was doing at the time, he was doing his PhD, and he used to work with Fortran. You people are must not be aware of what this Fortran is, but he used to write the small codes, and we used to fiddle a little bit tits bits here and there with him, because his whole thesis for doctorate was based on his working with the Fortran only. We didn't have any other this scientific language at that time to work upon. Though yes, with the time changes, this technology term has always been a relative term. The term, a supercomputer maybe 20 years, 30 years back down the line, the kind of computing power a supercomputer used to have 3 decades back, you are having the same kind of computing power in your phones, in your pockets every single time. So the technology is basically relative. It keeps on changing. 30 years back we used to work with COBOL or Fortran or something else. Today we talk about R programming, we talk about
Yes.
various deep learning programs, machine learning things, artificial intelligence on the back of this neural network sciences and all that. And then we in the last 20 years, what I have seen, this human machine interface has become so prominent that technology is moving very thick and fast, from the humans to the machines. Today you talk about Amazon, you talk about any other online e companies, everything is being managed by at the back end by the so-called computers, which earlier it used to be man. So hence the technology is changing. But then point is that you need to be aware of the contemporary technology, and eventually you will get absorbed into the future technologies. This is what Jasdeep did, this is what Akhilesh did, and this is what Sanyukta did,
Correct.
and
Correct.
this is exactly what we did.
Yeah. Sani sir, you're very correct on that.
Like
Right.
I'll give you one example. Like this has happened. Like we all running towards learning Python R programming, right? But now even my organization wants us to learn deep learning, wants to go back and learn networking. What we all those concepts which we have learned in engineering colleges is now what even the IT organizations is asking us to do. And why we are running back behind, like we all were like learning languages, right? We somehow developed languages, but now we again been pushed back to learn digital science, to learn the neuroscience. We have already forgotten those concepts, right? But then we again been pushed for back to learn those concepts. The reason is because the world is changing. This was like you have learned a lot of things in 2020. It was COVID. Every plans would have gone bad. It would have changed, right? But then probably that was the only time when you can go back and think of what you want to be and what you want to learn be. The time has changed. Uh, it is an era which is going to be very tough for everyone, because the jobs would be very less in terms of, because the structure of bots is coming in. Now there is a lot of technologies comes in IoTs, bots, artificial intelligence, right? Most of the organization, even we see in US also, uh, most of the work which was done by the L1 type of guys. Okay, what is L1 is like very basic people who were just here for working on the like a clerks or was guiding associates, is now work done by robotics, is done by bots, right? So their jobs is completely empty. There's no jobs over there. So you'll all have to learn the basics first. You'll all have to understand what is your um, your syllabus of your organization is actually teaching you everything. uh, Even me was preparing my resume yesterday. I was actually writing all about the concepts that we have learned in the university first, because that is what is now the companies even are looking for. It is not asking you to look for R programming or Python or I know Python because I'm the Python technical expert, but then people are looking for what basic concepts you have, what all chapters we have learned in your organization, and that is the very key resource to prosper in the life. So learn your basics, take things seriously in university, and very importantly, this university is giving you a lot of career opportunities and extracurricular activities. It's the only university where I earned money also, because I was working in library for an hour. I used to earn like 30 rupees. So you get a lot of opportunities in university also. I was part of like ESF, I was part of doing volunteering, I was doing campus recruitment, like I was part of your placement drives also in GNDU, but then I was doing multiple extracurricular activities, right? So you keep on learning things, life would be easy.
So thank you, Akhilesh, for such an exhaustive and informative reply. You have covered almost every aspect, I must say that. And again, the fundamental was staying relevant, especially we are into something where staying relevant is the mantra. Akhilesh, I hope your mic is off because it's actually, yeah. I guess now it's the time to wind up. So I'm very grateful, first of all, to all the three speakers that we have for today, the three alumni. I'm grateful to Akhilesh Peri because who has an experience of being into 10 different roles in TCS, as he has mentioned. And since he has also a rich experience of taking interviews for our university, or in Chicago also, as you mentioned, you've been taking interviews. So I guess we can coordinate with the HOD ma'am, and somewhere we can in future deliver a lecture on the art of interview or the possibilities of interview as well. And we will definitely try to follow that whatever we learn stays relevant throughout, as you mentioned in your very first reply. I'm also indebted to Sanyukta Sharma for giving us such vibrant responses. And I guess if we get baffled on policies and politics sometime in future, we would love to call you and love to take your opinion on that as well. And as you taught us that exploring beyond engineering is also quite important these days. I am also very grateful to Jasdeep saying I found him very humble and very modest, rather all three of you. It was being modest of you when each one of you mentioned that you have over elaborated our profiles. Rather, the reality is that I had to squeeze them as much as I could so that I could finish it off. Despite squeezing them too much, I guess we have surpassed the time limit as well. So, Jasdeep Singh's mantra of being focused and funny, which he has derived from the Kung Fu Panda, we'll surely see that as well. I'm also very grateful personally and on behalf of all the students, on behalf of all the three alumni that we have, on behalf of everybody who is a part of GNDU family. I'm grateful to Dr. Derek. We need people like you. From your experiences, if we learn, we'll happen to make less number of mistakes, because beforehand we'll have knowledge of what we should do. And I hope you stand by your promise that in future, whenever we invite you, you will make our events as successful as you made today with your presence. Sir, we are really grateful. You want to speak
Sure,
something?
Harsh, you are welcome to ask me anything. I'll be there. I'm in
Thank
Amritsar
you.
only. I stay in Amritsar only.
Okay, that's again a wonderful thing to hear today. I'm very grateful to the Vice Chancellor of our university. it's under his congenial atmosphere that he has provided all of us, that today we can freely conduct seminars and everything uh, as per our own tendencies and wishes. I'm grateful to the HOD ma'am, Dr. Behel. Always, we just need to rather inform her कि मैम ये हम करना चाहते हैं, and she's all ready कि हाँ बेटा आप करो, कोई भी जरूरत होगी मुझे बताओ, कोई भी तंग करता है मुझे बताओ. She's ready with everything. And Dr. Ravinder जिन्होंने personally, normally क्या होता है कि we are प्यासे एंड देयर कुआं, हम उनके पास प्यासा कुआं के पास जाता है. बट सर बार बार मुझे फोन करके, इट्स सो मॉडेस्ट ऑफ सर कि वो पूछ रहे थे कि एवरीथिंग इज डन, कोई जरूरत है तो मुझे पूछो. सो वी आर ऑल्सो वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू आवर फॉर्मर हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट डॉक्टर सानी, कि उन्होंने आज भी बहुत ही रेलिवेंट एंड एग्जाम्पलिफिकेशंस के साथ हमें समझाया कि कैसे जब तूफान आता है, जितनी मजबूत हमारी जो रूट्स हैं वो होंगी, उतनी ही मजबूती से हम उस तूफान को झेल पाएंगे. कैसे हमें फ्लेक्सिबल रहना है, कैसे हमें रेलिवेंट रहना है, कैसे ऑप्टिकल फाइबर कम्युनिकेशन के अंदर हम रिसर्च वर्क परस्यू कर सकते हैं. You also see some other faculty members who have joined us today in this event. It would be very it should be done by me, but it would be very long if I start taking the names. All of them are masters of their own field, and I'm grateful to each one of you for being with us. It was really a great motivation for not only me, but for all the faculty, for all the students, for the university students when we had you here. Thank you everybody for making our today's dialogue with alumni part 2 successful. Yes, sir.
Harsh, and thanks for your, very wonderful approach, the way you conducted. I think it's the rare of the rarest people whom I see in the professional world doing that. So keep it up, bro.
Okay, thank you.
I will send you my email address and just feel free to reach out to me.
Yes, we'll sure to get connected.
I would like to add, Harsh, though I know you as a personality ever since you joined this department, but definitely I would like to add a few more things, good words to your CV, that you are definitely a very good moderator. I'm really impressed the way you have really conducted this whole event. Thanks to Shalini for this wonderful event. Ravinder sir, you are a definitely good organizer, and I know you since last 14 years. You have supported me in most of the accounts, and today again you have done exceedingly well. Director sir, happy Easter tomorrow.
Sir,
Looking forward for the party from you.
Sir, a little
Party
correction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ravinder has always supported everybody in the department. Not you, even to me also, being head, it's very easy for me if the good this thing is there. Team is good, team is there.
So Shalini, at least we can
We
confidently say that.
Good team of teachers.
Yeah, department is in safe hands. We do have all the good administrators, still young, and the department is in good hands, and faculty is definitely intelligent, and they are, up to their task. So we see good future for the department to grow. And guys, Jasdeep, Akhilesh, and Sayukta, I would look forward to your call sometimes. Whenever you just feel like, please give me a call. I like to have a talk with you personally on the phone. And Derek sir, happy Easter. Party कल due है. कहाँ पे पहुँचना है?
Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Anytime. You're welcome. Thank you.
We are also coming.
Of course, Harsh, I'm really proud of